Well, the weapons supervisor for the movie Rust is facing a new charge of evidence tampering in connection with the fatal shooting on set. Prosecutors say Hannah Gutierrez-Reed transferred narcotics to someone else on the day of the shooting to avoid getting caught with drugs on her. Gutierrez-Reed was already facing involuntary manslaughter charges in the death of the film cinematographer. The same charge against Alec Baldwin was dropped in April, but it could still be reinstated. Joining us now is criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. So, Brian, why would prosecutors be filing these charges right now?
Hey, Kelly, great to be back with you. I mean, why did it take 20 months to find alleged drugs that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed transferred? I mean, I find that odd to begin with. Secondly, how did they find this information out? Is there a witness that's now come forward, for example, who might be copying a plea deal because they would be deemed an accomplice if Hannah Gutierrez-Reed did, in fact, ask that illegal or narcotics be transferred? But putting all that aside, Kelly, I think the bigger ticket item for prosecutors would be, did Miss Reed have any drugs in her system on the day of the shooting, right? Wouldn't that be the more important fact? And did they do a blood test after she was arrested on the day of the shooting to find out whether she had drugs in her system? Because this charge, even if there's a conviction on the evidence tampering, she only gets up to 18 months in jail on a fine. That could be no jail time.
And it's reasonable to assume that would be the focus, were there drugs in her system. Do you think, Brian, that the charges against Alec Baldwin ultimately will be reinstated?
Absolutely not. I think the prosecutors are done with Alec Baldwin. They've dropped the charges. The only way you can reinstate or bring new charges is if there is new evidence to support those charges. And prosecutors went through a lengthy and copious evaluation of evidence, including, I think, of Alec Baldwin's cell phone and his computer. Remember, there was a search warrant served on him back in New York many months ago. So prosecutors have all the evidence. They decided not to go forward. And look, I don't see how you get any new evidence that would somehow implicate Baldwin. He thought that there was not live ammunition in there. There was. And I think they're targeting the right person. But look, they really have to focus on Gutierrez-Reed. And if she was under the influence of any kind of drug, that would support, Kelly, the charge of involuntary manslaughter. It would bolster it.
Yeah, well, that certainly makes sense. Brian Claypool, insightful as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.